What stood out to you, positive and negative?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like coach speak if you play the way we played and get too positive. But percentage is way tilted in the positive direction. So, and I'm not really a rose-colored glasses type of guy, but you can't ignore that. So no, the percentage of plays that I thought we played at a high level were obviously good. And as football, like we told the guys, football, that ball makes like water. He's going to find a crack. And so where we were deficient, obviously showed up. And so, I mean, it's continued progress as we go through it. I think you build on so much of it. I think for so many of these guys, I think somebody told me that 10 guys played their first snaps at USC defensively. And no one wants to hear that, but it doesn't make it any less true. And so, you know, we got to keep coaching them up, and we got to coach it at a high level, and we also got to give credit to the opponent. Coach Brennan and that staff did a great job. It's a high-level quarterback, and we know we're going to have that conversation every week in terms of, you know, quarterbacks can make a bad play good and obviously spread offenses. So, no, I'm you know, at the risk of sounding like a coach that's bluffing you, I'm extremely excited after week one and very, very disappointed by individual plays.
What was Eric Gentry's impact? And is he on the pitch count right now?
Yeah, so you know, for Eric, it's good to have him back. I mean, you talk about a guy that missed so much time between the season and now, none of which is his own doing. It's just the reality of you know, injuries and some of those things. And probably in so many ways, you know, once he got the green light to be able to go, I mean, it has been a full speed ahead deal for him, the medical staff, and Coach Odom and everything defensive. So those reps will just continue to go. But no, it's fun to see him because you know, we saw him probably more on Saturday than we did, you know, cumulative reps over the course of fall camp in so many ways. And so that's good. We like to rotate. We need to be able to do that. And obviously he has been and will be a major player for us.
It seemed like Shane Lewis was pretty limited.
Yeah.
You know, week one. How's he doing? How's he coming along? What do you anticipate?
Yeah, that was just health, and he'll continue to progress. And a guy that will keep, again, pushing the envelope to get him ready to go, and a guy that we think will certainly have an impact. You know, got to be healthy to rep type of deal. So we'll get him going. So excited about it.
How do you
talk
feel
about Damani and Bears Day?
Yeah, well, it's exciting. You know, you talk about, you know, Damani's not one of those 10 new guys because he did play some snaps. So you don't. But on the same note, you're talking about a guy we all know that was very, very limited a year ago, and in so many ways probably didn't have you know, any reps at 100%. So no, excited to get him out there, and a guy that you know, probably I probably put him in a tough situation as the invert half guy right before the half, and you can have the checkers in the right place. But that's one of those situations. I told Damani this, where he had enough reps of that with the ball in the air coming at him. You know, and I got to be honest with myself and say, you know what, that's probably not the situation they put him in. But all told, I thought did a nice job and just going to continue to get better. Good lead post position right after the halftime that way, and so it was good. And you know, watching the tape, I think Bear was more impactful than probably on Saturday I maybe thought he would. You know, and or thought he had. You see the stat sheet and you think some of those scrambles, like, God dang, but in the pressure, and you watch it and you say, oh man, some missed opportunities. And that ties into playing together, you know, and then that's, you know, we talked to the back end too. It's not just in all those scenarios where it's just the four guys. It's on that second level, you know, guys making sure that they're firing the gun, you know, a little bit quicker in some of those situations. But no, Bear had an impact. I think he'll continue to. I mean, you saw guys, same thing. There's so much that wasn't with us. You know, getting in the summer, missed a lot of time in fall camp. Again, not his own doing, just the reality of football. And so no, he's just going to keep going in that direction. Good guy to have.
Thoughts on how do you feel
Thoughts on Curtis's debut?
Curtis is going to be awesome. Curtis, and I'm really excited about him. I mean, there's some things that as you look back on it, you know, his first reaction is hit somebody. The second reaction is maybe go in the right direction type of things at times. But that just comes with reps. I mean, that's just the reality of it. You talk about tall order. We put him in, you know, in a game, and you know, we've talked about, you know, the depth of linebacker type of thing through fall camp. And so, you know, it just seeing it, reacting to it, you know, and so, you know, he's one of those guys that I think he'll make major leaps moving forward, you know, and you know, he'll run and hit you now. You know, of all the guys we're worried about, not tagging.
How do you feel about the defense after 1 week? You know, this time of year compared to a year ago?
Yeah, I'm very bullish on it. I am, and I already mentioned it before, and I can't overstate it. I don't want to get, anything you say sounds like an excuse, and I don't want to do that, and I don't believe it is. You can say, well, it's not for these 7 plays, and that's how losers talk, right? So we can't do that. But on the same note is, how do we feel about the defense before that play? And then when you watch that play and you say, okay, what was the deficiency on it? Oh my God, how correctable that is. And sometimes that's not, and sometimes it's effort, and that wasn't the case coming out of the game. And in some cases, it's almost like into maybe a basketball coach where you kind of feel like you got the open shot and we didn't make it. But why on earth do we think we're not going to make it the next time around? And so continue to put the work in, continue to rep these guys and get them going. And obviously, I don't believe that's our best yet. And obviously, extremely disappointed by some of the numbers. And we got to go from there. So, thanks.
Thank you,
I
Alex.
appreciate you.